stream is running. Hi everyone, I'm TigerHawk23, and today I'm going to talk about my phone. I've made a preliminary review of this phone already. It's a ZTE Maven. Ran into a problem with it today. I went to update apps, because it periodically says there are a few apps that you can update. And I said, okay, yeah, sure. And then it gave me an error message saying there wasn't enough room in the phone's storage. This phone is an 8 gig model. As you can see, it has, let's see if I can get it there. So here we have the phone and the SD card. Other way, there we go. Phone and the SD card, and you can see that the phone storage is almost all used up. And yet, look what I've got. 0, 0, 0, a few here, a few there, and the music files are probably a few hundred K in total. Yeah, a couple meg. Just ringtones and stuff. So, yeah. So it says 3.4 gig used out of 4.1 total. So that's about 700 meg free. This morning I had like 500 meg free. I went through all the apps in the settings and looked at the properties of each one and checked whether the move to SD card option was available. Most did not have that option. Let's see if I can, where is that thing? I think it's settings, apps, something like that. Yeah. So we have apps in settings, and you can tap one of those and it will give you an option for move to SD card, maybe over here. This one's grayed out. This one came with the phone with 2 or 3 dozen other apps, and it does not have an available option to move this one to the SD card. The ones that did were basically just I think the games app, no, not this one. I think there was maybe 1 or 2, mostly just the apps that I downloaded myself could be moved to the SD card. So that saved 100 meg, 150 meg. Problem is, as it keeps updating apps, including the built-in ones, and by built-in I mean ZTE's version of Android, because they bundle it with whatever they want to bundle. As it keeps getting updates for various things, that will use more and more storage until once again it is all consumed. And like I said, with 500 meg available, it didn't want to download updates of 5 or 10 meg, so I guess it refuses to actually totally fill up. So there were probably about 800 meg available when I first got the phone, out of 8 gig. So nearly 90% of the phone's supposed storage is already taken up out of the box. And then apparently it wants to keep nearly 10% of the total storage reserved. I don't know why. It just didn't want to download anything else. It says there's not enough room. We've only got half a gig, and I need a whopping 3 meg for this update. Can't do it. My old phone, my Nokia 2610, had 2 megabytes of memory, but a lot of that was like wallpapers and themes and stuff. So not... there's someone in chat. Parth Sharma is here. Hi Parth. Yes, an odd hour. I have some time right now, so I'm gonna stream right now instead of my usual 11:59. But yeah, so my old phone had 2 meg of memory, but it was actually 2 meg. I could delete wallpapers and themes and ringtones, etc., and have nearly 2 meg available, most of which I used for a couple ringtones of my own, a couple images that people had texted me, and lots of text messages. Each one uses about half a K. It's pretty small. And if I was using, 1.995 megs, it would be like, okay, I can receive this message, that's fine. But the next one, no. You would have to delete at least one message to have 5K available, and 5K to have half a K available, and then you could have that's not 1.995 meg. That's 1.999.5 meg. Yeah. So the space that it said it had, it actually had in a usable capacity. Oh, Parth says it's 3 a.m. over there. Here it is 12:30 p.m. Maybe you're in India, other side of the world. That's you're up late. Usually when I do the stream, it is I who is up late. It is I who am up late. There we go. But so yeah, I figured I would take the opportunity to tell you about this little issue. I don't exactly know what I'm going to do, what the plan is going forward. I don't know how long I'll be able to move apps to the SD card, seeing as how I already moved all of them, and it's only going to help for maybe another few months. Once updates pile up, that'll be another couple hundred meg, and then there'll be half a gig available, and it'll treat that as 0 basically, and it will refuse to do anything else. Kind of surprising that they ship a device that's full already. And the problem is I don't know what I can remove. I think at one point I tried to delete like the Twitter app or something, because I don't have a Twitter account. I don't do that. And it gave me some dire warning about deleting apps that are built into the thing may cause problems, etc. And I'm like, okay, I will leave it where it is. Thank you very much. But maybe I will have to do that, because all these things take a lot of space that I don't have. So I don't know if I'll be able to kind of play catch up with this thing, deleting little bits of data here and there just to keep the phone usable. Maybe there's something else. Maybe I could root the phone and get a minimal install or something that's only 1 or 2 gig. That would be great. But I don't really want to deal with rooting a phone. It seems like it's mostly for people who know what they're doing with Android, and I don't. I might go to the AT&T store and see if they have a suggestion other than, would you like to purchase an S7 Edge? No, I don't, because the Wi-Fi on those doesn't work. Maybe I'll buy a different phone. I don't know what I would do with this. They probably can't take it back. I don't think I can return it. It's been a few months. How long has it been? I can just look up the previous review on this. No. I think it's been a while. I think it's been a while. June 13th. It's been about 3 months. So yeah, most likely no can do for a return. I thought it would at least be usable. I thought if I don't try to do too much with it, I've downloaded a total of 8 apps. Let's see if I can. I have the Stack Exchange app, so I can browse Stack Overflow when I'm bored in a waiting room. Steam, Skype, and WhatsApp for communications. Mr. Number to avoid spam. Rage Faces, entertaining little app. ES File Explorer. File Explorer is important. And OneNote. OneNote is probably the biggest app there. It's like 150 or 200 meg. Also, Skype is like 150. It says that the data usage for Skype, like the storage, I mean, is largely data and settings, etc. So I was going to delete it, but it gave me a dire warning. Are you sure you want to do this? Things will be lost. It's not. So I don't know exactly what it's removing. If it's removing account information, if it's something that will affect things elsewhere, I really don't know what it's going to do, but I expect it to do the worst possible option. Parse says that's what's in my Android. Typical YouTuber. Yep. So yeah, I don't really know what else I can delete. It's like having a computer with a hard drive that's only big enough for Windows itself. And then what do you do with it? It's not like, oh, well, I have all these 100 gig of vacation photos and videos from 10 years. I can move that somewhere, right? I do have a 32 gig SD card in here that doesn't do me much good, because I moved the apps that I personally chose and downloaded onto there, but none of the others can be moved. I might just uninstall OneNote, since the only thing that I got it for, I wanted to take a few pictures and then annotate them, scribble little notes on them, and write some text nearby. Almost worked, but it turns out that if you want to rearrange anything, you're left with blank spaces. It ends up as, it's almost an image editor instead of a word processor, so it's hard to collapse blank space. It's totally possible in the desktop version of OneNote, but in the Metro app or mobile versions of OneNote, that is not possible. I don't know what they were thinking. I had a picture and then some text and a picture and some text, and I was like, oh, this picture went in too small. I don't know why, but I inserted it and it was like smaller than the others, so I thought I'll just remove that one and then I'll add it back in and it should be, you know, the same size as the others. And it was, but deleting a picture this big and replacing it with something that big, I had content over here, so it kind of covered other stuff, and I'm like, how do I move this downwards? Not possible. Okay, how do I remove the blank space that it left and then I can put it at the end or something? Also not possible, so I would have had to delete the entire document and start from the beginning. So yeah, that's mobile stuff. Parsrama says, I think you should root your phone and then change ROM. That's a possibility. It would require a lot of research, I think, because mostly what I want it to do is just to work. Would have been nice if I could install a driver on here to connect it to my computer and use it to view the ADB for Android development, to be able to actually view tracebacks when I'm trying to develop an Android application and there's an error. But mostly I just want it to be a phone, at least. I'm not super interested in tinkering with it, really. I just want it to work. So Parsharma says Kingo root. I will write that down. Kingo root. I will look that up. So I don't know if I'll keep this phone and see if I can kind of keep it on life support as far as storage. I just got it 3 months ago and it's already out of storage and I haven't done anything with it. It's kind of disappointing. Like, how does that happen? 8 gig! My previous phone had 2 megabytes of space. And it took a while and a lot of stuff to be full. Over 1,000 messages that it was storing, and it was fine. And if it ran out of space, I would just delete some old messages that I didn't need anymore, like, "Are you here? Yes, I'm here. Look to your left." Great, right? Oh, King root. Thanks, Parth. I will look into that. So this, I don't know why. I don't know how it takes so much space just for the basic OS and things it ships with. I mean, smartphones didn't always have 8 gig or more on them. What happens if the phone only has 4 gig of space? Does Android work on it? Does it fit? Presumably. There were probably Android phones with 4 gig of storage. I'm not sure what they would do in that situation. Maybe it's just super bloated and a root would be a lot more useful. So I would actually be able to, update applications. I think that's kind of important, that it's just running out. It's not like I dumped a whole bunch of stuff on there and have, take all my videos on vacations and store photos of everything and take 5 Instagram pictures of my breakfast every morning, and nope. Just, Skype, Steam, WhatsApp, that sort of stuff, small things, a few hundred meg here or there, and it's done. And it had 500 meg available, but couldn't use it. I don't know what available means anymore in that context. If it says 500 meg available, but you can't do anything with it, then it's not really available, is it now? Anyway, Parth says, I think you should upgrade your phone. Go for an iPhone 7. It's iOS and it's same as always. My uncle actually has an iPhone, and he had trouble with the 16 gig model that he kept having to wipe and reset the phone because it just ran out of space. So when there were too many updates, one on top of the other, it would just run out of room, and he would run out of room with even 16 gig. And besides, for as little as I know about Android, I know even less about Apple stuff. I'm not comfortable at all with the Apple ecosystem. And also iPhone 7s are going to be like, what, $700, $800, $900? So, not really for me. And I don't have any Apple compatible things either, as far as cables and such. So yeah, maybe I'll look into one of these Chinese Android phones again like I was doing before. Because I originally was looking into that sort of stuff, like Elephone and Huawei and stuff. And then my dad's like, just get a Samsung like normal people. Par says, or maybe a OnePlus. Yeah, I've heard good things about those. The OnePlus One, OnePlus 2, those phones seem good. So I was thinking of one of those, some Chinese manufacturer for better value. My dad said, get a Samsung, and I'm like, okay, how about the flagship? Flagship didn't work. So then I got one of these, and now it's almost immediately out of space. I have not been having very good luck with this stuff, but I have good news. It has a flashlight. Yay! I've shown them before. I carry 2 flashlights everywhere I go. One of about 500 lumens and the other of nearly 1,000. With adjustable output, good throw, etc. So Parth also suggests Xiaomi. That's another big one. Xiaomi and Huawei are probably some of the kind of the more well-known Chinese manufacturers. So I'm really not sure what I'll do, but there's a lot of stuff to look into. I could keep this and just keep trying to delete stuff, etc. I could wipe it every now and again and start fresh, and hopefully that would help. I could root it. I could get a different phone. I really don't know. But I think that's the stream for today. I think the bottom line is 8 gigs seems like it should be enough, but in the ZTE Maven, at least, where it says, ooh, flashlight, that's such a unique feature, I wonder where I can get that. Yeah. At least it has that, right? So bottom line, 8 gigs should be enough, but on the ZTE Maven, they ship it with most of that taken up, and the rest not available for actual use. So probably not a usable phone to get. It would be nice if they didn't fill it with stuff. 8 gigs is actually a decent amount. You can do things with that, but applications are just so bloated. Some of them are like 100, 150 meg, 200 meg. On an actual computer, a Windows machine, like the one I have, for example, 150 meg application is pretty large. You'll find a lot of things that are a few meg, generally, most things. Maybe games are larger, yes. But these aren't games that are huge. It's just like communications apps. Stack Exchange app is basically a browser. I don't know why they have to be so bloated. And there's no room for bloat on an 8 gig device. My actual computer, I have several terabytes of space, so it's not a problem. But like my C drive is 2 terabytes, and then I have another 1 terabyte drive in there, a 1 terabyte, or is it 2? I think my external drive is a 2 terabyte, and a couple 250 gig drives also, just because. So that's not a problem. But when you're shipping a device with 8 gig, you can't load it with a bunch of apps that are 200 meg and then make them non-removable or cause some kind of harm when removed. Or it's basically a platform for using the apps they want you to use, and then it breaks anyway. And if I were using their precious apps, it still it still would be out of space. And then I'd be like, what now? Move the 10 pictures I've taken to the SD card? Already did that. I don't know. So, thanks for watching. Thanks for joining me in chat, Parth. And tomorrow there will be a game of some kind. I'm not sure which, but something. I have several to choose from. Day after that, I do not know what I will do. Maybe something about phones. Who knows? Join me and find out. So thanks again. I will see you next time. Have a good one.